We all crave deep connection. But from a very young age, society conditions us to seek external validation to achieve it, teaching us to look for someone else who sees our value and letting their approval make us whole. We often treat relationships like a rescue mission, entering the market looking for a partner to hand us the worthiness we haven't learned to generate for ourselves. Maya Angelou understood the danger of this dynamic. She viewed seeking external validation as a trap and offered a sharp warning about the logistics of how we love. Her core philosophy is built on a simple, pragmatic metaphor. Be careful when a naked person offers you a shirt. If that person had clothes, they'd wear them first. A person lacking self-love is naked, offering a gift they do not possess, distributing a resource they haven't yet acquired. Accepting this kind of offer creates a transaction built on mutual deficit. It is a precarious arrangement of emotional dependency, destined to fail because the foundation is hollow. Connection built on spiritual outsourcing, relying on another to supply your internal value, is unsustainable. You cannot draw capital from an empty source. To avoid this deficit, an individual must actively manufacture their own internal resources. You have to become your own supplier. Angelou's method for accumulating these resources is found in a grounded, practical reality rather than lofty philosophical concepts. She points to the discipline of a daily routine. As she put it, "My job at the plant ain't the biggest bed, but I pay my bills and stay out of debt." Maintaining financial and physical stability is the foundational act of self-respect. She applied this same logic to physical maintenance, getting her hair done for her own self's sake. Grooming becomes a deliberate act of honoring the self when it is done to satisfy your own standards rather than to win societal approval. These mundane acts, working a shift, paying a bill, maintaining one's appearance, function as mechanisms of resource accumulation. They create a secure, self-reliant internal environment by tangibly proving your value to yourself. In this framework, self-love is a byproduct of self-respect. You generate emotional capital through the daily physical work of maintaining your own dignity. Building internal capital also requires a specific psychological stance, a way to process a life that is often imperfect and incomplete. Angelou maintained a clear-eyed assessment of her own life, acknowledging that while it ain't heaven, it also sure ain't hell. She practiced an active celebration of the present, finding value in the simple blessings of livelihood and the luck of a good Saturday night with her community. This grounded contentment stands in opposition to the constant demand to measure our lives against shifting societal metrics of success or perfection. As this scale illustrates, self-love is the ability to call your current state swell, based entirely on who you are, rather than where you sit on a social ladder. Refusing to be defined by external measurements creates a psychological foundation that remains stable, even when outside circumstances fluctuate. Society frequently labels this intense focus on the self as a form of selfishness. Angelou's framework suggests the opposite. Prioritizing the self is a prerequisite for wisdom. It is a daily commitment to self-awareness that requires the genuine courage to be honest about your own needs. When self-respect is built, you reach an emotional surplus. The vessel fills to its limit and begins a steady overflow. This surplus changes connection. Love becomes the overflow from an already full cup, a gift from abundance rather than an attempt to fill a void. This leads to Angelou's final directive. Hey, self-love is very important. You gotta look at yourself and like it. Unapologetic self-acceptance is how you become fully clothed. It serves as the starting point for true empowerment and provides the only stable source for an authentic connection to others.